What's up, guys? Vintageandsnap here today. It's been a while since I've made a video, so bear with me. Today I decided to do a question and answer video. Frankie, a good friend of mine, did one last night, and it kind of made me feel like I wanted to do one. So I posted up a picture, and I had some people ask me some questions, and so yeah, I'm going to talk about them today. Um, yeah, so let's get it started. So at Tsunami Poppy and NH Polito have asked how to get the perfect curved brim. Well, that is honestly a really hard question to answer. As you can see, this hat has a pretty nice curve on it, but honestly, I don't have my own method. Um, a lot of people put like rubber bands around their brim and they'll like bend it like this. For me personally, I've had a lot of really good luck with just receiving my hats with the curve on them already. Um, but I've noticed that when I have the brim wet, like when I'm washing the hat, uh, and I bend the curve, then it usually stays pretty well. So I don't really have a direct answer for that, but if I find any cool methods, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, at 90s underscore apparel underscore sale asked what inspired or made you get into the vintage game, include thrifting and online pickups. So I started my page about like I want to say like 8 months ago, but I've actually like been collecting vintage hats for a little over a year now. Um, yeah, a little over a year. Um, Honestly, I remember the first time I found a hat at a thrift store. I would say I was like 15 or something. I just liked the look of it, and I knew that maybe it was worth something, and that sat in my closet for like the longest time, and still I until I started discovering some vintage pages on Instagram, and then every time I found myself with a thrift, I would just be kind of looking in the jerseys and stuff, and I'd be like, oh man, too bad I don't have a page. I could probably sell that shit. So yeah, then I kind of just decided to make one, and yeah, it's come a long way. But definitely the thrift stores I think inspired me. I was already kind of a reseller of like games and stuff, and so I was familiar with using PayPal and stuff, and so I just gave it a try and it turned out good. NH Polito, Nick, a buddy of mine lives in the same town as me, asks, "Where do you find your hats locally?" Nick, usually if I do find hats locally, which is kind of rare, it's gonna be at Value Village or Goodwill. But honestly, if you're looking for a specific hat, check eBay or hit me up. But unless you're just looking for random stuff, then I mean the thrift can be good. It's not really abundant with vintage snapbacks. You kind of have to get lucky. Um, but every once in a while you'll find something cool. So yeah. And another good friend of mine at Jake underscore Brown underscore says, "Would you like to start your own hat company?" That's kind of a tough question. I think it really depends on where my future goes. Um, I mean, it's not like a big goal of mine. I think it'd be tight if I did, but I wouldn't really say that's something I'm aiming towards. But I mean, right now I've started making my own hats, right? But I mean, I buy vintage blanks, so these aren't actually my brand hats, which you probably knew that. But and then I pay someone to put my logo on it. So I mean, yeah, it'd be something I'd be interested in the future, maybe uh, if I decided to open up a shop or something. And he also asked, "Would you like to turn your hobby into a big time business?" Like the last question, I think that kind of really depends on where my future goes and where I end up. If I get to a point where I can do something like that on my free time while still working like a full time job, or just being able to provide for a family, yeah, I think I would if the timing was right and the location was right, and business as well, yeah, I think I definitely would. I think it'd be a blast, and I think I could get pretty good business if I don't know, just stuck to what I do. So yeah, and at Flow Goods, Frankie, the dude that made the same video I'm making right now last night, he asked, "How did you come up with your name?" Honestly, that was such a long time ago. I can't really remember. I just know that I wanted to start this page, and I didn't know whether or not it was going to succeed. I kind of just wanted to give it a shot and, kind of just wing it. I know that I wanted to incorporate the word snap without saying snapbacks, because that's what I wanted my main focus of sales to be on, was snapbacks. But I also wanted to address the fact that they're vintage, not the kind of hat you can go to the store and buy. Because I know there's a lot of people that collect like modern new era hats, or maybe even Mitchell Ness, which, I mean, it's not what I'm about, but do you, I guess. So I think that's mainly why I came up with the name Vintage and Snap. Basically saying vintage gear and vintage snapbacks without directly saying vintage gear and vintage snapbacks. So yeah, and I think it kind of rolls off the tongue nicely, I suppose. Maybe not. Yeah, so thanks, Frankie. At Mickle, I think it's Mickles, vintage says, "What was the first vintage hat you ever bought?" I actually remember this pretty well. I don't know, I guess I couldn't say it's the first one I ever bought, but the first vintage hat that I ever bought for myself, I bought them on Instagram from, I think, at Junior Snaps, something like that. Yeah, I don't know, but I actually still have one of them. I bought two from him at the time. One I still really regret getting rid of, because it was probably the coolest. No, not the coolest, but one of my favorite hats, and I can't believe I ever sold it. And if you have one, please hit me up, because I really want to get that hat back. But it was this Colorado Rockies back talk, and so it basically has 6 logos on it. I really like the fit of this hat, and I like the fact that it has 6 logos. But the other hat that I bought from him at the time was the NFL logo shark tooth wool, which I really miss, because that hat was sick, and I sold it for like $30. I don't know why I ever did that. I mean, not that it's a super rare or expensive hat, but it's not a very common hat to come by, and it's certainly not a hat that I would pass up on if I had it now. So yeah, if I could take that back, I probably would. But yeah, that's the first hats that I ever bought for myself. I also, like I said, that one hat that I bought at the thrift that one time was a Super Bowl starter crackle, which is actually the first hat that I also sold on this page. Sold that to at Searching for Vintage. He collects that style, not that style, I guess that Super Bowl. So yeah, that was like one of my first sales, actually. So yeah. And the next question is from at Mr. The One and Only. He asks, "What is your favorite style / snapback?" Okay, so this is a good question. Personally, I really like twill sharks and splashes. And something else that's kind of unique about my collection is I really only collect snapbacks of my teams. So I'm from Colorado originally, so I collect Colorado Rockies and Denver Nuggets and Denver Broncos. I also collect Mariners, because I live in Seattle right now, but I hate Seahawks, so, but I'm a Mariners fan. And so yeah, this is my Logo 7 Colorado Rocky Shark. Pretty good condition. I need to replace the snaps on it eventually, which is depressing, but it's fine. Pretty good condition. I really just love the fit of the twills. They fit to your head, and they're not heavy. I actually used to have the wool Logo Athletic Rocky Shark Tooth as well, but I didn't wear it as much as the twill one. And I have the Colorado Avalanche. Oh yeah, I collect Avalanche too. Colorado Avalanche logo 7 twill. I need to reshape this, but also have the Colorado Avalanche logo 7 splash, which is twill. I still haven't taken the tags off. I actually kind of hate dead stock hats, I'll be honest, because I like tell myself not to wear them, but I really want to. So I kind of, if I had the choice. Sorry guys, I just ate. If I had the choice, I would rather have a used splash opposed to a brand new one, because I feel like it kind of loses some of its value when I take the tags off. But I'd rather wear it than have it being stored. So maybe I'll actually pop these tags like tomorrow. You know what? Just for you guys. Pop the tags. Just pop the tags. Alright, I got that over with. Sick. Now I can finally wear it. Alright, sorry for that. Also have 2 of these Broncos logo 7 splashes. This is actually my favorite hat that I own right now, because I love the Broncos. They're my favorite team, and it's my favorite style of hat. And I like this one a lot better than the logo athletic splash. I actually don't even have a logo athletic splash right now. I sold mine a while back. But I would consider selling one of these if someone wanted one, by the way. Another style that I really like, because I really like these, like the sports specialties black, like, I don't know what you would call them, because they're not, I mean, yeah, they're plain logos, but they're like league plain logos, I would say, because NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, I have all 4 of those for the black dome, and I have the MLB and the NFL white dome twill ones. I really like these 2. They're sports specialties. They fit really well, and they're just nice plain hats that go with everything, you know. I always like any Broncos hat, especially like the rare ones. Let's see. I rock a script occasionally. I really like wearing my hats too. It's just cool. It's really cool wearing something that you created and that you, represent to you. Something you started from the bottom. I mean, I might not have created the logo per se, but I created this company or this business from the bottom, and I think I've come a long way. So I'm pretty proud of what I've done. So it's just like wearing this hat or any of my brand or any of my business's hats are just kind of like a showing my pride in my company, basically showing my pride in something that I've done. So yeah, that's something I really like to wear as well. So yeah, thanks for that question. At Ben Jarvis, he wanted a shout out, but he asked, what do you look for when buying a hat? Honestly, when it comes to buying a hat at the thrift store, any hat that's vintage and that doesn't have broken snaps, I'm gonna buy. So I guess the only thing I really look for when I'm at the thrift is if it's actually vintage, if it's real, and if it's at least decent condition. When I'm buying a hat for myself, of course I always look for the hometown teams, but also brands play a big part in what I look for, because I want a hat that fits well, and a quality hat that's not gonna, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say fall apart, because I've never had a hat fall apart on me, but fit is a big part. So when looking for a hat, I think that it needs to have a good fit, definitely. Some of the better fitting hats, in my opinion, are Logo 7, Logo Athletic, Sports Specialties, obviously, Youngin. G-Cap has a really nice fit. Even Twins. I think Twins is a very underrated fit. Twins Enterprises. And let's see. Starter is pretty well widely known for not having that well of a fit, except for their white tags. The white tags fit pretty nice. Let's see. What is this hat? Oh, it's a sports specialties. This one has a really nice fit too. This is kind of just a random dope hat that I got that I really like wearing. Denver, Colorado, Final Four, 1990. Before I was alive, but just a cool hat to wear. Has that dope NCAA side logo. But yeah, I think those are the main brands that I look for. And obviously, I'll look for like the more sought after designs, which would be like the big logo or anything logo set or logo athletic or sports specialties really. There's a lot of popular starter hats, but I always look for those. Anything that I don't have for my collection, I'll look for. But I mean, yeah, pretty much overall, that's what I would say I look for. So yeah, that concludes the question part of this video. Thank you for everyone who asked me a question. I'll include your guys' name in the caption or description of the video. So yeah, thank you guys for asking questions. Kind of a new thing I wanted to try that Frankie showed me. So I hope you guys like that. If you did, then let me know. I can do this more frequently. I really want to start making more YouTube videos more often. It's something I enjoy doing, and I know a lot of my followers like them. So actually, please do hit me up with ideas of what you want to see, what kind of content you want to see. Whether you want to see unboxings or really anything. I'm down to talk about anything. If you want to ask questions, I'll answer them. If you want, I don't even know, but